What's up again, everybody? I'm Clayton. Welcome back to Ages of Film. Today, I'm going to review Predators from 2010, directed by Nimrod Antal. Antal, and Antal. Yeah. Anyways, while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel out. Going through all the Predator movies, I've reviewed all of them up to Predators, so that's what we're looking at today. So strap yourselves in, keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times, and let's have fun. Just a reminder, this is just my opinion on this movie, guys. No need to be upset or offended by anything I have to say. Let's just have fun and have a good time. All right, so starting with the positives, moving to negatives as always, let's talk some Predators. This was another one that I was never a fan of. I didn't get to see this one in theaters. I remember when it came out, but I just never got around to seeing it. This was still a little before I got hardcore into horror. I had seen Alien versus Predator in theaters back in 2004, and I liked it. It was fun. I saw it with one of my best friends at the time, but it didn't do enough to make me like a diehard Predator fan. Between seeing Alien versus Predator and Predators coming out in 2010, I went back and I had seen the original Predator for the first time along with Predator 2. So I became more familiar with the Predator franchise, but I still wasn't like a die-hard, hardcore fan or anything like that. I really liked the first Predator movie, as we all do. All guys should like the original Predator. If you're a man, if you're a guy, if you're a dude, you need to like Predator. If you don't, just make yourself like it or pretend like you do and just go along with it. All right. I'm kidding. But no, in all seriousness, I loved and still love the original Predator. But I guess I just wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't eager to see this in theaters when it came out. So I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't see it for the first time until years later. Didn't really care for it. And then I saw it again a couple years ago. Still didn't really care for it. And so when I did my sci-fi ranking video a while back, where I ranked a bunch of sci-fi franchises, I had this one pretty low, and I think I only gave it like 2 stars. I watched this movie back for this review, and something clicked with me, and I really came around to this movie. So this is the second Predator film in a row that I've reviewed now where my mind has changed on it a little bit, because I wouldn't say I came around on Requiem, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, but I did like that movie a little bit more than prior watches and ended up giving it a little bit better rating than I had. Same thing with this one, only this one is a much bigger gap between the last rating I gave it and this rating than what Requiem was. So yeah, really came around to this movie, really enjoyed it this time. And yeah, so I'll get into the positives and what it is that I came to really like with this film. And this is just another reason, another example of why it's good and important to watch a movie multiple times and not just have a concrete, opinion on a movie after just one watch. Some movies, yeah, I can kind of see that, but I think a lot of films can require like multiple viewings to really, have it grow on you, so to speak. I've had a number of films like that where saw it the first couple times, didn't really like it, and then came around liking it over time. That's happened to me a number of times with a number of films, some of which I've reviewed on my channel. So this is another one of those. So getting into the positives now. One big positive for me in this film, the setting, the setting, the atmosphere, the tone of this film, the location, all of it, awesome. Love the setting of this film. Taking it back to the jungle, only here we're on another planet, a different planet, and they just dropped off this group of characters on this other planet in the jungle. And I love that jungle setting. I think it worked really well in the first Predator movie, and I think it works really well here. So the setting, the jungle setting, the tone of the film, and just the atmosphere, that jungle atmosphere with the noise of the animals and the wild and nature going on. Like, yes, to me that gives me Predator vibes. Jungle setting. And for me, taking it back to the jungle was a big positive for me. Not that this movie couldn't work in other locations. I think they pulled it off somewhat in Predator 2, putting it in an urban environment. But I think for me, Predator works the best in a jungle type of environment. So the setting, environment, atmosphere, all that, big positive for me in this film. I also did like the story concept for this film. I liked that, they came up with this idea to put it on an alternate planet, on a different planet, and where you're alone. There's no one else really there, and you're just in this foreign land, this foreign planet, and you have a mission now. Your mission is to get off this planet and get back home, get back to the world, to planet Earth. I think it also kind of fits with the sci-fi type of genre that Predator is in. It's a sci-fi horror action genre. And this movie kind of leans a little bit more into that sci-fi element, putting this on a different planet. I like it. Again, you're changing the location, so you're not just going back to a North American type of jungle. You're keeping the setting in a jungle setting, but you're changing the location, the physical location, to a different planet. So it's not a jungle that anyone's familiar with, knows the terrain, anything like that. So in the story concept is just dropping this group of characters off this unknown planet, unknown jungle terrain, and letting them kind of have to just survive and figure out on their own what's going on, where they're at, what's happening, who's calling the shots, all of that stuff. I thought it's just a really interesting story concept and idea for a Predator movie that's different, it's unique, and it's executed really well. And I think they pull that off. So from a story, writing, concept, I like where they were going, the ideas that they had in their head, and that was something that was a positive for me as well. I thought the action and the pacing was handled really well. They don't spend too much time on any one particular action sequence. They kind of move things along. There's stuff happening within the action. It's not, a stationary action, but there's movement within it, and the story is progressing along the way. So there's movement, good pacing, good action along the way. And I thought that was one of the stronger points of the directing by Nimrod. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because I'm going to butcher it every time I do. So I'm just going to call him Nimrod because that's his first name. So Nimrod directed that action pretty well. Action and pacing pretty good. I really liked the cinematography. I thought looked really good. The lighting was good. The way that he shoots the jungle just really set a really good tone for the film that gives off Predator type of vibes where you feel like you're in a Predator movie. Just some really beautiful shots and greens, some really you just gorgeous framing and the way that he shoots the film. I thought was really aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So yeah, really good cinematography. The production design looked really good, believable. I felt like I was in the jungle watching this movie with these characters. That's what I want to feel. I want the production design to look good and authentic. Makes me feel or believe like I'm in that setting, in that location with characters, and I felt that with this one. So the production design, the sound effects of the all the critters and the wild and everything in that jungle sounded really good. It gave off Predator vibes, man, and that's what I want in a Predator film. So all the technical stuff with the directing, the cinematography, the production design, the sound, the framing, the look, the aesthetic of the film, some smoky type of grays and kind of this dirty, gritty look to the film as well really worked. And yeah, really just I liked all of that stuff in this movie. The Predator design, awesome, great stuff, man. Love the look of the Predators in this movie. I thought they looked just amazing, and I they changed it up a little bit from the prior films, and I thought they didn't make too big changes where it felt like a departure from the Predator creatures in the prior films. It's still, you could still very much tell it's a Predator creature, and they still kept the essence of the Predator creatures in the design, and I was a big fan of the look of the Predator creatures in this one. Loved the design, looked really cool, really awesome, and really intimidating and imposing. That was a big thing. I want that intimidation factor with the Predators in a Predator movie, and I got that. I mean, these things looked menacing. These things look like savages, bro. And they were menaces to society. They were absolute menaces to their predator societies. And that's what I want in a Predator movie. I loved how the Predators were used. They used them as these horror creatures. They weren't trying to team up with the humans. They weren't trying to respect the humans or anything like that. Like, they were purely out to hunt and kill these humans. And they reference that multiple times in the movie, that all these creatures do is hunt and kill. That's their sole purpose in life, is to hunt and kill humans and prey and each other even. Yes. Yes, that is how you write and use predators in a movie. I love that. They used the predators and wrote the predators in a way that was very satisfying to me. So the way that they were used, the horror effect of the predators, you felt scared. You had that horror feeling towards these predator creatures, and yeah, they were just menaces, bro. Menaces. Loved it. And then the kills were awesome. Some great kills. This one of the best kill, arguably the best kill in the franchise, when the homeboy just rips the dude's spine out. Kind of a callback to the original, only in this one that he actually kills the guy that way. In the first one, the guy was already dead and the predator kind of ripped his spine out. This one, he actually kills him by ripping his spine out. Savagery, bro. Savagery. Love that. Great kills. The scene where the guy from the Matrix guy and what's his name? I forgot actor's name. I forget his name. They're in that tunnel thing, and Predator just blows him up, blows him to pieces. Great stuff, man. Awesome kills in the film. Gave me what I wanted in a Predator movie. So loved all that stuff, man. Really came around. I don't know how I missed some of the stuff, or what it was that I didn't like so much on prior viewings. The two prior times I saw this movie, I don't know why I didn't like it. But yeah, when I watched it this time, I'm like, this has like so many things that I love in a Predator movie. It gives me. I don't know why I didn't see this stuff on my prior viewings, but this time they really stuck out. They were really big positives for me in this film. Moving into the negatives now, I do. There are still a few things that bothered me with this film. One of them were the characters. I just wasn't big on this group of characters, man. I don't think any of them really had that strong of an on-screen presence. They really didn't have much of a personality. I mean, a couple of them did, but their personalities didn't really feel authentic or genuine. And I think part of it was honestly in the directing, because I feel like basically everyone in this film, all the actors, and a lot of them were pretty well known and respected actors, but no one in this film felt like they knew what to do, what they were supposed to say, or how they were supposed to deliver their lines. Everyone just kind of felt like they didn't have a strong sense of certainty with their characters or with their lines, or how to deliver their lines. And I fault the directing for that, because part of being a good director is directing your talent and directing the actors in your film, and giving them, if they're unsure about how to act in a scene, giving them the direction that they need in that scene, so that they know how to deliver their lines, so they know how to approach a scene. You communicate with them on those things, and I feel like that lacked here. So I don't know that Nimrod did. Is that his actual name? Can we just fact check that? Because I feel kind of like, I don't know, like Nimrod. That's just, I don't know. That's I feel like that's a really jerk name. I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad calling the guy Nimrod, because I feel like that's not, like, no one would actually name their kid Nimrod. But I'm looking at his name right here on my note sheet, and that's how I would pronounce it, Nimrod. Don't be mad at me, Nimrod, if you're watching this. Why you would be watching this, I don't know, but if you ever do, I'm sorry, buddy. I I didn't come up with your name. I didn't make your name up. So I'm just reading it off the sheet here. Nimrod. I feel like he didn't know quite how to direct his talent here, because I just didn't get the sense that anyone in this film had certainty in how to deliver their lines, how to approach their characters. It just felt off, and it felt odd. And I didn't really connect with any of these characters. There wasn't really an emotional connection for me with any of the characters that much. Like I didn't really care all that much about any of these characters. And I felt like the performances by the actors, all experienced actors, just felt off, and that's why I feel like there was a miscommunication or a lack of communication between the director and the talent. I feel like everyone just wasn't sure. They weren't getting good direction on as to how to approach their scenes, how to approach their characters, how to deliver their lines and stuff like that. Maybe that's just me. If you guys felt that same thing, let me know in the comment section. That's what I feel when I watch this movie. Like, because these actors are experienced actors, they're good actors, so it can't just be on them when it's the entire set, the entire cast of actors. Everyone felt like this, from Adrian Brody to the last person in the credits. All of them felt this way. So it can't just be the talent. Like that's got to be on the director, not communicating and not directing the talent well. And that's a big issue for me. Was the lack of any strong character, any well written character, in any character that really stood out for me. I also thought the dialogue was really bad in this movie. Like there were a number of lines in this film that made me turn my head and made me even cringe. I mean, there's a scene where the one guy, the prisoner guy, the guy that's supposed to be like the criminal or, whatever, he's literally sitting there talking about raping women and how he can't wait to rape girls when he gets back. It's like, what? Why are we talking about this? Why is this in this film? This has no place in this movie. It just felt really crass and unnecessary, unneeded. You have the scene where he's just walking behind the female character in the film, and he's just like, "You got an amazing ass." Again, it's like, why are we even saying this? Why are we writing this as dialogue in the film? Like this isn't doing anything for anybody. And it just, there was a number of scenes like that where the dialogue in the film, the scene where, Adrian Brody's like telling the chick that, he's more of a solo guy. He's not interested in playing as a team. And he goes and walks off to go off on his own, and her reaction to him walking off to leave and do his own thing is, "Hey," and I'm quoting her here. She actually says, she's like, "Hey, you want to see something really fucked up? Why? Why is that here? Why is that in the dialogue here? Like no one would say that. If someone's walking off to clearly just go be on their own, have no interest in being with you or with the rest of the cast, the rest of the characters, why would you say that line to them as they're walking off? Like there was a number of scenes like that, man. Just really bad dialogue in this film. Not strong character writing, not strong delivery from the actors, some really bad dialogue. And then the plot twist at the end with the one character, the doctor character who turns out to be the bad guy. It's like, no. First off, it was very predictable. You could tell just from the beginning how he was acting. You're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be the guy that turns on everyone. He's going to be the bad guy. They didn't hide it very well. It was very predictable. You're just waiting for the turn to happen. And then when it does, it felt very shoehorned and felt very like forced at that point. It's almost like they had forgotten to turn him at some point. It's like, oh, well, let's just turn him now. It just felt very unnatural because he's in that hole with the girl and he's like, "Oh, I like it here. I want to stay. I don't want to leave." It's like, dude, 2 minutes ago, you got stuck in a bear trap and almost lost your whole freaking foot in a trap that you were yelling and screaming about. There were multiple other times in the film that you almost died. Like, why would you still want to be here? Like he's talking about how sick and twisted he is. He's a murderer. It's like, well, if you want to stay here, you do realize there's no one else for you to murder. There's no one else for you to kill here. You're not going to be killing these predators. You're obviously very helpless. You're the damsel in distress that they had to rescue multiple times in the movie. It just made absolutely no sense. It felt very shoehorned, very forced. I just didn't care for it. It wasn't needed, in my opinion. And then the score as well. The score to me felt more adventure action-y than it did horror action sci-fi. And that may just be a me thing. I haven't really heard that from other people That might just be a me thing, but yeah, I don't, the score for me didn't give off Predator vibes. It gave off more like action adventure type of vibes. So yeah, but it wasn't like a terrible score or really even a bad score necessarily. It didn't feel like it fit the film that it was in. And that's my whole thing with a movie score, is that it should fit the film that it's in, and it should enhance the feeling that the movie is trying to make you get from the film, from the story, from the characters. It should fit the film. And I just didn't feel like this score fit the film that it was in. So, yeah, but not like a bad score or anything like that. Just out of place. But yeah, that's basically that's all I got for Predators. I have come around on this movie. I do actually really like this movie now. My overall score here, I'm going to get this a 3.5 out of 5, 3.5 stars. I do actually really like it. I enjoyed it. I had a really good time. I feel like if you would just have given these characters much better dialogue, give better characters and better direction of your talent, this could have been an awesome movie. You know, fix up some of that, the dialogue and the score a little bit. And also Adrian Brody, wasn't sold on him as the lead tough guy. You know, I just didn't buy him in that role. He's a very talented actor. I just didn't buy him as that lead tough guy type of person. He doesn't, you know, I feel like that character would have fit better with like a Liam Neeson or Jeremy Renner or a, you know, Bruce Willis, you know, someone that's believable in that role. But Adrian Brody is not the guy I think I would think of for the lead tough guy in a Predator movie. It just felt like a very weird casting choice. Like, hey, let's get Adrian Brody for this role. I'd have been like, okay, it's Liam Neeson not available, or Sylvester Stallone, or Bruce Willis. You know, Brody wouldn't have been my first choice for that role. He's a talented actor. I just don't think he was very believable as the front guy in a Predator movie. So yeah, change the cast up. Give me different actors playing these characters. Give the characters something more significant to do. Definitely give them better dialogue. And you would have an amazing Predator movie. But yeah, still a very good film. I still really enjoyed it. 3.5 for me. That's my score. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you agree with my rating? Do you disagree? Let me know. And yeah, a couple more Predator movies to go, and we'll do a ranking video at the end. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, kick it and rock on.